welcome to Mind Your Business, a channel where we are in everybody's business. If you don't mind getting in people's business, you're on the right channel. Talking about current topics and gossip.
Well, Gizellle and Karen will soon be at war, it looks like, because, you know, classic housewives, two events going on at the same time. But I will say, on this occasion, surprisingly, I am siding with Gizellle. Let's talk about it, people. Well, guys, people, my inclusive crew, let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. And yes, I cannot believe I will be saying that I am actually siding with Gizellle in this occasion. Because we all know, if you've listened to my channel before, I have cussed off Gizellle plenty of times on my channel because I can find her quite annoying at times. Sometimes she can be very bad mind and out of order. But on this occasion, I will say that Karen, one of my faves, Karen Grand Dame, she was damn out of order and very, very messy because she knows what she's doing. Because absolutely no way that if I was Gizellle and I had invited all these people to my event, this GNA event that we're having, and it's in honour of her dad who's passed away, and ladies had RSVP to say yes, and then Karen comes into the same group chat and now invites them to her event where she's getting awarded. After I've already sent out my event, I'll be pissed off. Absolutely, I'd be pissed off. So I would be definitely having words with Karen because how dare you? And you sent it afterwards. And you've got people who are now scrambling to say, oh, well, which one you should go to. But if you RSVP to Gizelle's event, then you should have gone to Gizelle's event. I understand Wendy and Kiana going to support Karen at her event. And don't forget, I like Karen. But to me, this was in honour of Gizelle's dad. So they should have made an effort. If they already RSVP, they should have stuck with their original RSVP. You can sometimes do two events in one evening, but it can be difficult. And based on what they were saying, you know, DC traffic is going to be crazy. But Karen, I think, was very messy because, one, she already knew she was going to be getting honoured. And when Gizellle asked her what time is her event, she's chatting about she don't know. She already knew it was going to be in the evening. I should have just been straight up and said, you know what, it's going to be at the same time and I won't be able to make your event. Instead, she kept saying that she's going to be at her event. Very, very messy. And we know that she's been messy because she said that, you know, she wanted to see who's more popular. And we know that she's upset with Gizellle and thinks that Gizellle was shading her at the attitude party that she threw for her. Now, I do feel like Gizellle can be very, very shady, but I do feel like her throwing the party for her was a nice gesture. Her little shade about the non-alcoholic drink, yeah, it was shade, but it's not that serious. Not to the point where you need to sabotage an event that is aimed at honouring her dad. And we know GNA and their fashions as whatever, but we know that the event was for her dad. So I feel like that should have been, you know, that should have taken precedent at the time. So I completely get Gizellle being vexed. Now, what I don't agree with is Gizellle chasing people out of the event and chatting about call security to take out people out of her event, because I believe it was Jazzy, Stacey and Mia who turned up at the event late. They did speak to Ashley though, and I feel like Ashley is to blame once again because they told Ashley, we're going to get there about 8:30. Ashley said, no, try and get here for 8 o'clock. They said, okay, fine, it's going to be tight because they're on the way to Karen's event. She goes and tells us that to Gizellle. Gizellle tells her, tell them don't bother to come. Now, she didn't pass on that message to them. So they get there trying to rush, you know, they rush in, take a picture with Karen because, you know, everyone loves Karen, and then goes back to GNA event. So they get there like literally 3 minutes after 8. And then you've got Gizellle coming to about, no, they can leave. So it was very embarrassing for them. And I thought that was out of order because at least they tried to make the effort to go to both. I don't think she should have done that. We know that Gizellle is in her own little world right now. She's lost her dad. So I feel like that a lot of that was coming from anger around that and dealing with her grief, and she's taking it out on them. But no, I don't think she should be chasing them out of the damn event because at least they turned up and they tried to show some sort of support. So I blame Ashley in that because she made it clear to Ashley, don't tell them don't bother. But Ashley didn't tell them don't bother. Instead, she let them turn up. Even if it was 3 minutes late than the time that they agreed, you know, they still made an effort to get there. So I thought that was rather bad mind and that didn't have to happen. But ultimately, you know, we can see that there's going to be a little war between Gizellle and Karen. Those two are always in a, you know, friendship, frenemy situations anyway. But this one, I will say, is more Karen's fault because she knew what was going on. And I will say that it doesn't bother me. I kind of like this light-hearted stuff. In a sense, it does give, you know, very nostalgic Real Housewives tease because, you know, there was always like an event or some sort of clash. So it kind of gave me that kind of vibe where I was like, okay, fine. Also in that particular episode, we saw Wendy and Gizellle finally come together. Now, we all know that Gizellle is saying, oh, she wants to be in a better place with Wendy and all this kind of stuff. I look at it like, well, no, you have no friends. Your best friend, Robin, is not there. Plus, I'm pretty sure production would have told you to fix up and chat to Wendy now because you're messing up ratings and your job's on the line. So I don't know how genuine their friendship will be. I side-eye that a lot. But, Gizellle invited her to lunch. It was a bit awkward, but, they got through it. So we shall see. But if I was Wendy, I wouldn't be trying to be besties with Gizellle at all at no time. So let's hope that she doesn't fall for that nonsense. But we'll see. Now, what I also thought was quite interesting was Ashley. Now, how on earth is Ashley looking down on somebody else's marriage, Stacey, who, when she said that she's still living with her husband and they're going through a divorce, didn't she do the same thing? Like, her and her big forehead need to stay out of people's business because she done the exact same thing. But what I also found quite odd is the fact that her and Stacey had this conversation about their kids and, their promiscuity to blackness. But the both of you have chosen to father children with white men, and then you're complaining that they're not as close to their blackness. But yet you both are black women, because obviously we know Ashley is biracial, but she identifies as a black woman. So therefore, if you're complaining and saying, oh, well, I'm worried that they're not going to get enough black people in their lives, what are you doing? Are you not their mothers? So therefore, that's on you to make sure that they know their black side. I don't understand that. It makes no sense to me. If you want fully black children, then go with a black partner. But if you have got mixed kids, then you're going to have to do the work to make sure that they know both sides of the fence, right? So, Stacey's saying that the daughter's very, very well engrossed and very proud of her German side. So make sure you make her proud of her black side. What are you doing to help to facilitate that and to encourage that? Like, that left me scratching my head just like, yeah, that means the work is on you guys and you are the mothers. So therefore, make sure you do what you've got to do. But we also got to learn about Stacey and about Stacey seeing someone separate, and her ex-husband's also, well, not quite ex completely because they're going for the divorce, but the ex is also seeing somebody else, and she spoke about her guy she's seeing is a devout Christian, and so they're not sleeping with each other. And of course, Ashley is looking shocked and shooketh. So I'm interested to see how that all folds and what else we find out about Stacey. But so far, I'm like, this is interesting. Now, I do feel like Karen was being slightly messy by telling Kiana that she told Gizellle to invite her, and, there's a bit of mess going on there. But I like to see that Karen and Kiana have that friendship that's bubbling. I really like that Kiana is part of the cast as well. I'm looking forward to seeing more about her because I really liked her from last season. It made me laugh when Kiana was like, well, I am not interested in going to any GNA events. I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised. The last one you went to turned into a brawl with you having to defend yourself. So I don't blame her for skipping out on that. Like I said, Kiana and Wendy, it made sense that they attended Karen's thing because they're closer to her. But all the ladies made a point of going, which I thought was quite nice, but not such a good feeling for Gizellle. But also, I feel like Gizellle should take this as a reflective moment to understand that sometimes she's been a complete bitch to some of these women. Maybe not new ones, obviously, like Vivian and Stacey, they don't really know. But Wendy, we know, that she's been a complete coward sometimes. So sometimes you reap what you sow in that way as well. So let's be fair. But like I said, I don't really agree with messy Karen's move on this occasion, as much as I do love the grand dame. Anyway, of course, I had to look at social media to see what people were saying about the show. And here are some of the tweets that had me nodding along and cracking up. Okay, so you saw some of those, and some of them are absolutely hilarious. A lot of them are definitely just like, yeah, Gizellle. Pretty much similar to what I've been saying, but very interesting indeed. But it's going to be interesting. It does seem like Jazzy has got some spice to her, so does Stacey. So let's give the newbies a chance. And speaking of newbies, I thought it was interesting that Vivian, who is actually Karen's friend, actually made the effort to go to the G&A event over Karen's event. And she did say it's because she RSVP'd and Ashley asked her, so she turned up. And I think that's how it should have been played. Same with Jacqueline. Jacqueline turned up to the G&A event. And then we also found out that obviously, you know, Karen's not happy with Jacqueline anyway because of her line of questioning. But what do you guys think? Do you think Karen was being messy? What do you think of the show so far? And what do you think about the newbies? Let me know your thoughts below.
Yes, so thanks for watching that. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you know when I am uploading some more of people's business. So until then, my nosy people, stay blessed.